Hi folks, it's Switchback. Today I want to talk about principle number 2 of Leave No Trace, which is to travel and camp on durable surfaces. All of this information is available at lnt.org, which is the Leave No Trace organization. While hiking, in general, it's wise to stay on trail to reduce your impact. Try not to go around puddles or to cut switchbacks, as this leads to more erosion and widening of trails. There are times it's appropriate to go off trail, and this is in more remote areas. There are certainly areas where people go backpacking and it's all off trail. A potty break would be another time, and sometimes you want to go explore around camp. So should you decide you want to go off trail, consider the durability of surfaces, how frequently the area is traveled, and how large your group is. Next, let's talk about different surfaces and how durable they are. Rocks, sand, and gravel are pretty durable, but be mindful of lichen and moss. Ice and snow, assuming that they're deep enough, are pretty durable, and they'll often protect the vegetation below. Also be aware that the route will often be different than, say, a summer trail, and this has to do with safety. Dry grasses are pretty durable, but meadows and most other vegetation are pretty fragile. In the desert, the sand is pretty durable. However, any kind of live soil is very fragile. Any kind of mud puddles, potholes, or other types of little water holes are super scarce, and so it's really important not to disturb these if you can avoid it. When you're looking for a place to set up camp, look for an already impacted site or at least a durable surface, such as a granite rock. You want to look for space that's at least 200 feet from any water source to help reduce any contamination and also not to get in the way of wildlife's route to the water. Avoid setting up too close to the trail. This is more for the sake of visual impacts. If there aren't already established sites, rocky and sandy terrain reduce impact. And also be sure to keep your site clean to reduce critters from being drawn to it, for you or for future users. Sometimes you will see an impacted site that doesn't necessarily meet these criteria. If it's an established site that looks like the rangers have created it, you can go with that. In undisturbed, more remote areas, you want to try to avoid traffic over the same route. So don't use the same paths to go to the bathroom each time. Don't use the same route to the water source. If you're in a group, consider dispersing tents so that there isn't a lot of foot traffic over the same exact areas. Also consider moving camp each night to help reduce impact in one area. One argument for camp shoes is using soft-soled shoes around camp to reduce your impact. Be mindful of vegetation around a water source. A lot of water sources have grassy areas around them, and so be very careful about not crushing this. You may even need to find an alternate route. When going to water sources, bring a larger water container for fewer trips to a water source. I tend to use a 3-liter CNOC bladder for my dirty water, and this is something that I can use maybe twice a day if I've completely filled it up, and it's very handy. If you're in a group, potentially have one person grab water for multiple people all at the same time. When you leave a less impacted site, be sure to brush away any footprints that you have, scatter natural litter, and rake any grasses that you may have matted down with a stick. Avoid camping in creek washes or riverbeds or anywhere else that might be subject to flash floods. If you're camping in a river corridor, there will usually be designated sites to use, and these need to be high above the water line. So there will be long riverbanks, non-vegetated areas, and sandbars. Look for durable surfaces for cooking and ideally away from your tent. Limit your stay in any one spot to 2 nights. Also, when you leave, scatter some natural litter, leaves, sticks, etc. to help reduce your impact and cushion the ground. In the desert, avoid disturbing lichen or desert pavement because these impacts can actually last for hundreds of years. Be sure to stay tuned for the next video in the series about proper waste disposal. I hope you found this helpful in finding ways to reduce your impact, and I welcome any feedback that you might have. Leave me a comment, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!